Hi, Hay House. My name is Chelsea VanBuskirk. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity for me to submit my book proposal to you, and also for putting together the Hay House Writers Workshop, without which I wouldn't have a book proposal out here in the world. So, thank you so much for laying that groundwork for me to get started on my dream of becoming a published author and hopefully one day a Hay House published author. My book that I'm presenting to you today is Break Free from the Caregiving Trap. It's a how to guide based on personal life experiences on how to heal the wounds of unworthiness so that you can start caring for yourself first before saving everyone else. I have been a lifelong caregiver myself, and everyone that I've talked to about this book so far, it seems like it will be well received. And I think it speaks to women, especially those who take on caregiving roles. A lot of women tend to be, they're nurturers in their families. So whether these are parents, mothers, women who take care of a sibling or their parents, kids with special needs, that kind of thing, I think it applies to all those groups of women, especially those of us who basically sacrifice ourselves for others. And I think that's a noble thing that we want to do is help and be of service. But when it comes at the expense of your own life and your own happiness, where you're actually killing your soul inside in the name of others, then that becomes a problem. And it seems like this problem is growing. I've looked at data that supports that, where the self neglect that comes from this compulsive caregiving is taking a toll on women's health. They're more susceptible to obesity, their mortality rates are increased, heart disease, things like that, just higher stress, and they're not taking care of themselves. They're not eating right. They're not taking care of their bodies. They're not sleeping well. They're turning to alcohol, nicotine, drugs to cope. So it's just this cycle where they're killing themselves in the name of serving others. And I think that sometimes that message could be delivered by societal kind of pressures, as the woman being the one that takes on everything and does everything and takes on all these responsibilities. And then when we fall short of coming through, then we feel guilty. And so then we just try to achieve more and add more to our to do list to try to keep proving ourselves that we are worthy. And I've noticed that a lot of these symptoms, if you will, of this caregiving trap is these women tend to have these big, deep wounds of unworthiness where they're using caregiving to feel valued. Like they have this need to be needed, right? And when they're being of service to someone else, when they're caring for other people, that helps increase their value, makes them feel like they're worthy. So they tend to take on more and more than what they can actually handle. And when they burn out, they just feel worthless. And these women are just kind of driving themselves ragged. And what that leads to is not only the health aspect, but you become bitter and angry and resentful. And that's not the way you want to be when you're caring for people you love. So, this is kind of a firsthand story about my journey and coming into healing my own wounds of unworthiness through my spiritual self discovery, and then becoming strong enough and growing in my own power to know how to set boundaries, to learn how to say no, to learn how to make my needs known, and to know how to put myself first so that I can take care of myself and my needs so that I can be a better caregiver, so I can be more loving and patient and actually enjoy my time with my loved ones instead of seeing them as a burden or being resentful of the fact that I'm always the one that has to do everything, right? Like it was learning to find my voice and my confidence and my self love, especially. And I did that through my spiritual awakening process, which honestly, I have Hay House to thank. In one of my first mediumship readings I had, Spirit told me to get the book, The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer. And it was through this one book that opened up a whole series of other books. Like, I think that was the first Hay House book I had ever read. But it was that one book that opened the door to a full Hay House library, where that library really was the beginning of my spiritual self discovery and learning all these things that I had never known or been aware of before. And that's what I'm doing with my book is I'm reaching an audience that probably hasn't been too aware of Hay House before. These are women who have felt trapped, who don't see outside of the religious boxes that they grew up in, where in those religious boxes, they are being told that you serve people, right? Like it's giving the wrong message. It's making people feel like if they take care of themselves first, that that's selfish. And so it lays this guilt. And so I'm really trying to help these women see that they can let go of the guilt, that they actually have every right and they should be taking care of themselves first. I mean, it's just like on the airplane. You put your oxygen mask on first before you give it to others, right? Like you have to save yourself before you can care for others. And that's what this book is doing. So all these bits and pieces are all coming together in this book to be like this spiritual how-to guide of how to heal yourself so that you can have these boundaries and know that one, you are worthy of taking care of yourself first, and that it's a necessity to make sure that you're well off, that you're taken care of so that you can be the best caregiver for the ones that you love and that you have the responsibility of caring for. I'm very passionate about this book. I'm very excited. This book is super needed. This is the time. I really hope I make an impact on you guys and you guys give me a chance. This book is getting out there one way or the other. I'd love it to be with Hay House. I think Hay House is the perfect publisher for this book because, like I said, I feel like it's the foundational book for those that might not be aware to this whole spiritual growth, who might not be aware yet of all the possibilities they have within themselves. And Hay House has such a tremendous library. I would love to be that door that opens for these people who don't even know what Hay House is yet. I want to be that person that shows them this book that opens that door to further their own spiritual growth and empowerment. So thank you again for the opportunity, Hay House, and I hope to be in contact with you soon.